I look a little shiny, y'all. I was working. Hi. I haven't been feeling well the last couple of days. Um, my usual I don't feel well time of week. I'm so sickly, and I hate to say that because you don't want to speak negativity into the environment, but I was working and I should have powdered before I got on camera, but y'all are not here for a makeup routine, so I'm gonna go ahead and let my face be shiny, and I'm gonna pull y'all down a little bit, and I'm gonna get started with today's topic. So, honey, I thought about doing this topic. Can y'all hear me first of all? I don't know. Can y'all hear me? I don't know if y'all can. Let me get my other phone. I've been thinking about doing this. Oh yeah, I see I'm live. Let me see if I can hear myself. Let me see if I can hear myself. Can y'all hear me? So I'm just waiting a few seconds for people to come in. I thought this was a very important topic, especially in this day and age where women are out of control. Yeah, I think y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? So, first of all, let me say, you'll hear me mention feminism from time to time. Now, when I mention feminism, I have no problem with feminism in the aspect of laws, equal rights. Like, we need that. As women, we should be able to have careers, live the life that we want, do all the things that we love. So, when I speak of feminism, I am not speaking of the type of feminism that we need to survive in society. The type of feminism that, like was required so that we could be the woman that we are able to be today. If you live in America, you are not oppressed, okay? I know women like to tell y'all that. I know women like to tell y'all that there's a huge wage gap and we're being oppressed, but let me explain something to you. If you do a little research, one of the reasons why there is such a huge wage gap is because women tend to not want to do the same thing that men do as far as the hours when you become a mother. Women tend to not want to do what men do as far as working hours. We know men tend to have more flexibility in career advancement because they don't have to worry about that baby on their hip like women do. We know that women don't go into fields like engineering and mathematics like men do. So when people tell y'all about the wage gap, it is a real thing. There is a wage gap. But when people tell you that, they don't give you any research, any facts, any articles. They just kind of spew out what the news tells them or their feminist girlfriend tells them. They don't give you any real facts to back it up. And so on this channel, we're going to talk about facts, opinions, life experiences. We're not just going to speak out of our mouths and have nothing to back it up like most people do, okay? We don't want to do that here. So the reason that I'm doing this topic today is because in my private Wifey for Lifey group, the link is in the description box, we are reading a new book. The link is in the box too. Now, keep in mind, this book does have a spiritual foundation. So if you're someone who hates Christianity, you hate Bible verses, you hate stuff like that, most of the people that I work with and that are in the group, even if they're not Christian or religious, they know that that is the foundation of what I believe holds a marriage together, which is faith. And they usually take what they can take from me and they leave what they don't want. So If you're somebody that's a critical thinker, even if you're not religious, even if you're not a Christian, if you're somebody that can pull the hidden gems from a text or from an article, even if it is faith-based, if you are, kind of a leveled up type of person, you will still enjoy this book. You will still enjoy this book. And as a matter of fact, the reviews on Amazon were so controversial. I had to read this book. And also, a lot of the people who read the book are not Christians. They're not faith-based, but they found this book to be helpful too. So I do want to be clear about that even though you guys know where I stand when it comes to where I believe religion, and I don't even like religion anymore. Like, we just need a relationship with God, period. We need to stop even calling it a religion, but that's a whole nother video. You all know that I am faith-based, and I believe that's why my marriage is successful, and that's why I'm happy, and that's why my husband's happy, because we wouldn't have made it. We wouldn't have made it without God being at the center of our marriage. We are too wicked. We are too worldly. I know I'm too everything. And so without God being at the center of all of this, I think we could have easily been one of these divorced couples, or one of these couples that have a sexless marriage, or we hate each other and we're just staying together. We don't have children at this point, so there's nothing holding us together. That we don't have to stay together because we had kids, or everybody's financially able to make it on their own. Even though you guys know I believe in the husbands being providers, I'm a hard believer of that, because women, is so much pressure on us as women, and we should have men that we can lean on and depend on, and so that we can be feminine. So today's topic is from the book that we're going to be reading in my private group. If you want to join the private group, like I said, the link is in the description, and it's called Love and Respect. And what I've learned from watching a lot of different YouTube videos, from talking to women, from just life experience, is that a lot of women just don't respect men, period. Okay. Now, we can go into a lot of different theories about why that has come about. We could say it's because of this, it's because of that. But here's the problem. If you are someone who desires to be married, if you are someone who desires to be taken care of, loved, doted on, taken on trips, appreciated, respected, lifted up, there's no way you're going to be able to do that with a masculine man if you don't understand respect. Okay. Now, everybody needs respect, right? We all need it. But men and women definitely need it in different ways. And so this book that we're reading, he did a study, and I have all links. All the links to what I'm talking about is going to be in the description box. All the articles that I refer to, all the statistics that I talk about, they are going to be in the description box. We use facts to back up what we talk about. Facts, life experience, and opinions. Okay. So in the book, there was a question that was given to 7,000 people. Okay. Hey, Kat. So 7,000 people were asked, when you are in conflict with your spouse or significant other, do you feel unloved or disrespected? And 83% of men said they feel disrespected, while 72% of women said they feel unloved. Now, obviously, this is not all the men and women in the world. We know we have some hyper masculine women and some hyper feminine men. And we're just speaking of the average man and the average woman. We're not speaking of people who self-identify as some different sex, even though they were born as a man, and somebody who identifies as some other sex, even though they were born as a woman. We're not talking about, I don't touch those issues. That ain't my lane. What we're talking about is the average man, the average masculine man, and the average feminine woman. As women, we tend to lean more into our emotion. Okay. That's how we build. It's a good thing. And I know a lot of, these masculine women, they'll tell you, you got to man up. You got to be a leader. You got to go get your bag. You got to go take care of yourself. You got to go handle your business. I mean, it's all these men out here to do it for us. I don't know why we shouldn't have a man to do it for us first, and then we can still do it for ourselves. I'm a complete boss, make my own money, don't work nowhere, quit my job. My husband was fine with that, and I do what I want. And so the fact that women try to peddle this, like, you got to be this super hyper feminist woman, hear me roar, because it's so needed, it's because they don't understand the dynamic between a man and a woman. And believe me, I didn't either. I almost lost my husband. Well, we weren't going to get a divorce or anything, but we were not on the same page when I was in my 20s. We were not on the same page at all. And so that's how I learned about respect. Not in the way I always respected people, but men really need a different type of interaction than the average, not all, but than the average women. And so in this study, it kind of reconfirmed something that I had to learn myself as a woman. So the average need of a man and a woman is going to be different, okay? Women, we're emotional. Men, they tend to be less emotional. They have emotions, they have feelings, all of that. But they tend to lean more into their logic more than their emotions, okay? That is why a man can have sex with multiple women. She could fall in love. She could get pregnant, and he could leave you and marry Susie in 6 months, because men can detach. A healthy emotional woman cannot detach. We cannot detach, especially when sex is involved. We don't detach from that, because most of us have morals, we have values, and we just cannot use our private area like it's just some gas station, bathroom gas station, okay? We are very particular about our bodies, and we know about those soul ties, and we know about, I really feel every man you allow into you, he leaves a piece in you. And that's why I feel some women are so evil. They have taken a piece of each man that they've been with. And now you found a nice husband, but you don't know how to be a wife, because you have never even groomed yourself to be a wife, to have self-control, to learn how to charm, to learn how to get what you want, to learn how to build a relationship that's reciprocal. You've never learned that because you tried to dominate. And which leads me to my next point. So I want to go over 3 reasons if you're struggling with your marriage. If you're the person that your husband says you're so disrespectful, if your husband ignores you, if your husband goes out and stays all night, he don't come home after work, if your husband ignores you every time you start talking, you probably are disrespectful, and you don't know it. Because I didn't know that's what it was. I wouldn't identify it as disrespectful. I just would have said, I'm just being me. I'm just being Kim. I'm not being disrespectful, This is how I feel. And so I think it's important to understand why you psychologically, emotionally may not be able to respect men. So let's get into it. I did a little bit of research. All the research that I did will be in the description box below. And what I learned is that we live in a matriarchal society. We live in a highly matriarchal society. So when we're speaking of matriarchy, we're talking about a system of society or government ruled by women. Now, we are not talking about government or laws. We know that that's patriarchal. We know that most people in power still are men, but the women are coming up. They're judges, they're in leadership roles. I mean, it's a great time to be a woman, particularly in the United States of America, okay? So if you live in America, don't give me no story about patriarchy. I don't want to hear none of that crap. You are delusional. We do not really live in a patriarchal society, even though we know that mostly the power still is in men's hands. Women who understand the game still get what they want, okay? So we know that we don't live in a society where men control women, hardly, okay? But we do live in a matriarchal society. So let me give you some facts. All the links are in the description box below. Head of households. We have about over 40% of women nationwide who are head of households. 40%, you guys, they're the breadwinners. Now, breadwinner doesn't mean that they make the most money necessarily. They could be single moms, okay? So in some cases, breadwinner means that they make more than their husbands, which is fine. A husband can still run the home and be a provider, even if he makes less than you. Okay, now I would not, this is another topic that I'm not going to get into, but I believe in marrying on your level. Some people may not agree with that, but it's biblical. The Bible tells you to be evenly yoked. I believe you should be evenly yoked, not necessarily education-wise, because somebody could not go to college and make a lot of money and have a good living, but they may not be on your level intellectually. They may not be on your level of values and morals, and they may not be on your level in work ethic. So you could have some differences, but I believe in being equally yoked in every aspect of your life. A man can make less than you. That's not a problem, but he needs to understand the provider mode, of what that means to be the head of household. So keep in mind, we have a lot of women who make more than their husband, but the husband still understands his role. Okay. And that's another topic. If y'all want to talk about that, let me know. Because society is changing, and us, women, we can do anything, and we're winning. We're out here winning, and we're thriving. Well, we're kind of winning. That's another topic. So you have over 40% of women who are breadwinners. They are the head of their households. So that means the women are making all the decisions. There's no man, or if the man is there, his input is probably not dominant. It's probably the woman that has a dominant say so, especially someone who makes more money. A lot of women would feel, well, I make more than you, so you don't have no say in this. Okay, so that would be the attitude. And let's break it down even to black women. So this channel is not in particular for black women. I'm a black woman, so I'm always going to attract that demographic. I love that because black women are getting the least in all areas. So if you're white, your statistics are still a little better. If you're Latina, your statistics are still a little bit better. Black women, we are getting the least of all. And so I'm going to touch on some statistics for black women. Black women are the head of 29, and this is from Black Demographics. So I have two different sources. The link is in the description box. Black women are the head of 29% of all black households, which is twice the rate of all women at 13%. That's from Black Demographics. Then I have another article that I found on, what website was that? The Institute for Women's Policy Research. And it said more than 4 in 5 black mothers, which is 81%, are breadwinners, with the majority of black mothers, 60%, raising families single. And this is 3 times as many as single black breadwinners who are married. So we have 3 times the rate of single mothers being the breadwinners than you do of black women who are married. That to me is a very unfortunate statistic, because it really does show that something's not right in the black community. But this is not about the black community. I just wanted to throw those statistics out there. So that shows us that we live in a matriarchal society. And I found an article that I also posted in the description box below that spoke of the alpha woman. And I would consider myself an alpha woman. Why? Because I'm opinionated, I'm confident, I know what I want out of life, I can be aggressive about it, I am outgoing, I'm outspoken, I'm strong, I'm just everything that would describe an alpha. That's in me deep down somewhere. Okay, I'm really an alpha type of girl. But here's what happens when you become an alpha woman and you buy into matriarchy, which means maybe you were raised in a household where your mother told your dad what to do. Whatever she said went. If he said I want to do B, she said, no, we're going to do E. If he said, I want to paint the room gray, she said, no, I want to paint the room pink. Some people have grown up in homes where everything is a fight. You can never get along, or the woman would never yield. Everything is a fight. And I know society likes to present this idea that, women, we're the abused group, and we're so abused and raped and molested, and all of that is true. But we also have a group of women who are also very damaged and who also are very hard to get along with. Okay, but no one talks about that side. Women and men play a role in the demise of family and marriage, and why we are in the state that we are in as society, especially with our children who are totally out of control. Most people have children who are totally out of control. That's why the school system is in shambles. Believe me, I know. I spent over a decade in low performing schools. That's why our society is ridden with crime in America. It's the complete breakdown of family. And so there's nothing wrong with mama being the golden light in the house. The woman is the heart of the house. I'm the heart of my home. Whatever I want, my husband naturally obliges to. If I want to buy a new couch, or if I want to decorate, or if I want to buy new dishes, or if I want to make things pretty, he has no problem with that, because he honors me as the woman of the house. Okay, that's my role, the feminine, dainty, soft woman of the house. He has no problem with that. He also has no problem with me disagreeing with him, or telling him how I feel, or sharing my emotions. But he does have a problem with the way I do it. He does have a problem if my tone is disrespectful. He does have a problem if I won't allow him to be a man and to say, hey, this is what's going on, and he has a problem with that. If I'm trying to, emasculate him, that's going to be a problem. And so because some of us have grown up in homes where our mothers were so aggressive and dominant and cursed their man out and yelled, and whenever they couldn't get their way, they withheld sex, or they talked down to their guy, or, you have a lot of women who have some very disturbing traits in relationships. And this is why they are unsuccessful. This is why you have a lot of women who could not buy a ring. They could not get a guy to ask them to marry them if they tried. They couldn't, because once that guy figures out who they really are, after that pretty exterior wears off and he didn't use you for sex, and he figures out who you really are, he's gonna be like, oh no, I'm not marrying this girl. She crazy. I'm not marrying her. She crazy. Okay? So this is the problem we have. And so everybody on the internet will tell you, girl, love yourself. You the bomb, girl. And if you black, they'll tell you this black girl magic propaganda. Black girl magic, whatever that's supposed to mean. And so it's time for women to start, older women like me, to start telling the truth about how you really are going to have to check yourself and make sure you are in line as a wife in order to get a man who's going to dote on you, respect you, love you, and really so you can get what you need emotionally as a woman. The man has to be able to get what he needs as a man. And so because we have such a matriarchal society now, where lots of single homes, lots of moms, we have this I don't need a man concept floating around, where a lot of mothers would tell their daughters, you don't need no man, go to school, get your education, you don't need no man, you don't even need a man to have a baby, which is stupid, because you need a man to have a baby, so obviously you need a man to raise a baby, okay? So how backwards we are as a society is disturbing. If a mom and a dad was not needed to raise a child, God wouldn't have made it that way. And so it's really disturbing to me to see how we're destroying our young girls, and we're also destroying their mentality, because when you teach that I don't need a man thing, but you still want to have sex and you still want to have children, it's very odd, and it's almost like you're lying to yourself, okay? So we have some women who were raised in homes that were very dominated by grandma, auntie, and mom. And grandma and auntie and mom never taught them how to use your charm with the man, how to use your charm, how to use your softness, how to get your way. how to put on that, that big girl smile, and sometimes think about things before you respond. Some people weren't raised in those environments where the mother or the grandma and the auntie was able to groom them, to prepare them for marriage, okay? Or just being in a relationship with a masculine man. 2, you never had a dad at all. So we have a good percentage of young people in today's society, black, white, Hispanic, doesn't matter, who are just growing up in a home where they don't have any type of male representation. Now, I think uncles are great, older brothers are great, but let's be honest, that's not a daddy. So if a woman did not grow up with a father and a mother who were married in a home and who was able to model certain behaviors like me and my husband saw when we were growing up. We both come from married homes, 2-parent homes. We both come from that. And that's why we're like-minded in a lot of ways, okay? And, you never saw your daddy get the big piece of chicken. Or you never saw, your mother saying, no, your dad, wait, we're not eating till daddy get home. Or you never saw your mother make your father's plate. Or you never saw your father pay all the bills and work hard and, do all of the things that he needed to do to make sure the family was provided for. Or you never saw your mom be soft with your father. Or you never saw them hug and kiss and laugh. So a lot of women have never even seen the dynamic of 2 married people besides on a TV show or in a movie. They've never actually experienced that. And when a woman does not acknowledge to herself, not that you're lacking or that other people are better than you because they had that, but when you don't acknowledge to yourself, I did not have something that I should have had, then you're going to have a problem with respecting men because you don't understand what it means. You never even seen it. And the third reason why women cannot respect men is personal experiences, okay? And this is why this book is so important, because this book is going to help us remember how men and women are different and how we can evolve to another level with our men so that we are getting the love that we feel we need, and the man is getting the respect that he feels has gone away in today's society. And we both need, we need both. We need love, we need respect. But men and women emotionally, we're different. And so a lot of women have been sexually molested. A lot of women have been raped. A lot of women have been emotionally, psychologically, verbally abused, torn down, mistreated. And do you know what makes women susceptible to this? Not understanding the balance of the feminine and the masculine. Not being taught that. So a lot of our young girls go out here looking for love. They don't think that's what they're doing, but that's what they're doing. They're trying to fill a void with sex or food. You know, a lot of us struggle with weight. A lot of us struggle with obesity, especially black women. A lot of us struggle with, some people struggle with alcoholism and drugs and all kinds of stuff. And all that is you trying to fill a void, okay? And a lot of people don't think like, oh, that's not it. No, I just like to party. No, you're trying to fill a void, baby. You trying to fill a void. Something ain't right there. Something's not right. And so you have a lot of our young girls going out here getting involved with the wrong type of men, criminals, thugs, drug dealers, liars. A liar, like somebody who can't ever tell the truth. Cheaters, men who love to cheat, men who have multiple babies by different women. You have a lot of women going out here thinking that they didn't caught a prize, and it's a dud. It's not a prize, it's a dud. And so a lot of that is from experience. from the abuse that women have endured over the years. That has to be said. That has to be said. We have to understand that some women have been so abused and broken down that the idea of even respecting the opposite sex seems impossible. And so these are the three reasons that I think a lot of women cannot respect men. They cannot respect men because they grew up in a matriarchal household full of women, whether it be their mom, their grandma, their aunties. They never saw their mom respect their father, respect their uncle, talk positively about men, bring positive men around. They were dominant. They yelled. They were nasty. They were rude. They were, I don't need a man. I'm going to go out here and get my own bag. I don't need no man. And why? Listen, I laugh at women when they say that because I'm just thinking I'm still getting my bag, but I spend his first. What are you talking about? I still get my bag, but I'm spending his first because that's how much he loves me. He wants me to be happy. So when I hear women like bragging about having to spend their own bag, that's very funny to me. It's like, so you think you're winning? Like, yeah, you can still get your bag if that's how you want to refer to it, but that has nothing to do with love, fulfilling your emotional need. If you want to be a mother, making sure you're planning for that and you're not putting stress on your body to wait until you're 45 to have your first baby. That was a mistake that I made. I didn't think about being a mother early enough. Like I didn't make that decision early enough. And I don't want any woman to experience that. I should have been thinking about being a mother way earlier. Like I was just, put that at the back of my mind and like, oh, and we don't have any regrets, and we're still young enough to have kids. But now I don't even know if I want to tolerate it. Like, do I even have the patience to be a mother at this point? Just to be honest with you. So I'm just trying to teach lessons that I had to learn along the way because nobody's teaching it. So those are the three reasons. Matriarchal society. You never seen a woman where you've been so abused, whether it be sexually, whether it be verbally, whether it be emotionally. You can't respect men if you tried without a good dose of therapy, counseling, or self-help, whether that be ministry. And some listen, y'all, just praying is not going to help some of y'all. And this is coming from a woman of faith. But praying just ain't gonna cut it. You're gonna have to pray and actually go see a therapist or a counselor for some of the trauma that women have experienced. Prayer is just not going to be enough. You're going to have to actually get a licensed professional to guide you through the process of walking into your womanhood and your femininity and your boldness and what you want out of life and being confident in that and knowing that God has a man for you that is going to respect you and adore you and love you and do what he needs to do. You're going to have to get yourself together to get to that point. Okay. And it ain't just going to be just praying. You might have to get a licensed professional to walk you through the process, depending on how much trauma you have. So, okay, I'm just going to answer your questions. I know some of you were asking me what book it is. The book is called Love and Respect, and it's linked in the description box, but I will also link it in the chat before I go, just because y'all are asking. It's called Love and Respect. Oh yeah, I linked it in the description because I put it in there after I started the video. But just go to the description box after the live, or if you can't go during the live, and I thought I put it there. But I will go to Patreon and I will put the link in the description for you guys. Okay? So that's all I had to say, you guys. That's it. Those are the three reasons why I feel like a lot of women have such a negative energy when it comes to men. They're so negative. They just everything is bad. I think that if you don't understand the importance of respect in a marriage, you are going to fail in marriage. Even if you stay together, you're going to be miserable. You're going to be absolutely miserable in your marriage if you don't understand why men need respect. Not respect for mistreatment, not respect, if y'all have issues, respect in the way you talk when you're angry, when you have a problem, when he makes a mistake. How will you conduct yourself in a way where you can still stay connected? How will you do that? And so I think there's a lot of women, they just don't have it. So the person who asked me about the book, I will pin it in the comment section. I will also pin it in the description box, the book. And I just want to read what y'all said before I get out of here, because I'm hungry and I'm irritable because I don't feel good. So let me see what y'all are saying. Definitely have seen this growing up. Had to check myself many times with my husband. Yeah, I've had to do it too, girl, because there were some days I was talking reckless to my husband. I was being reckless, about to lose my blessing. I catch myself not being respectful, so I love these words. We all do it. We all get disrespectful in various aspects of our life. Someone asked about the book. I will pin the book in the comment. Just come back to the video. It'll be there. Yes, my tone and facial expressions. Yes, all of that deals with respect. You frowning up at your man all the time. You always got an attitude when he around. You're never happy. He can never do anything to make you happy. You shouldn't even be with a man like that. If you're with a man who can never do nothing for you, he can never make you happy, he can never say the right thing, he can never do the right thing, you're with the wrong man. That's evident. My husband tells me my tone is not always welcoming. I'm working on that. Yes, and I think, and listen, it's for you. Because the more loving and open we are with our husbands, I promise you, I'm telling you what I know, the more loving and open they will be towards you. Okay? All right, so that's it, you guys. I will pin the book. I'm going to do it right now. And yes, ma'am, remember how you want to be treated. Yes, exactly, Bridget. We have to treat our men how we want to be treated. That's how you get the treatment that you want. You pick someone with good character, good morals, good values, hard worker, believes in family values. And when you give them the love and respect and you give them the benefit of the doubt and you watch yourself and you watch your tone, they're going to give you the world. They're going to give you the world. They just are. It's in a man's DNA to want to give when he feels respected and loved and appreciated. Now, if you with a man who's not upholding his role, that's something that you're going to have to deal with first before you can even touch on this issue. But you still have to show respect. Even when a man is not holding up their end of the bargain, you have to show him respect in how you communicate with him. And give him the opportunity to correct himself. If you are not married, then you have the opportunity to walk away, easily. Even we know married people walk away too, but most of us get married with the intent of staying married forever. We don't plan to just walk away at the first sign of something happening. I'm not speaking of infidelity. The Bible says you can divorce for infidelity. If you want to work it out for infidelity, go for it. I do not give any leeway to cheating at all. And neither does my husband. We don't give no leeway for that. Okay. But you have to go to God and have that conversation with God. If your husband has been unfaithful to you, if you think the marriage is worth saving, go get a spiritual counselor, go to therapy, go to counseling, and try to work out your marriage. If you feel like that's the right thing to do, if you feel you played a part in the affair or the cheating, or you feel you haven't been holding down your role in the marriage, and maybe that kind of caused a divide, and you're taking some responsibility and you want to work it out, I support you 100%. Okay, but just know that when I'm speaking of working it out through the highs and lows. I'm not speaking of physical abuse or cheating. I'm not speaking of those things, okay? So I'm going to get out of here, you guys. I will leave all the links that you need in the information box below. If you want to join the private Wifey for Lifey group, if you're a single woman who wants to become marriage minded, unlike most of the women in today's society, join us. It's not no wife school. I can't, help you find a husband. But what I can do is give you a safe space to talk about marriage, what it's like being married, a place to ask questions, a place to just talk about, relationships, because it's such a shameful thing now. People don't want to say I want a man. People are afraid to say that. People are afraid to say I love being a wife, or I want a man that's a protector and a provider and that treats me right. You can't even say that now, because we live in a very feminist type of society. And I'm not talking about the feminism that we need. I'm talking about third and fourth wave feminism, weird feminism. Okay, when you're getting into that third and fourth wave of feminism, it's very weird. And I don't deal with that kind of stuff. I don't deal with that. Okay. So yeah, all information will be in the description box. Y'all have a great day. I'm going to get out of here.